Hello everybody, my name is Joy and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club, and we're still here with Monica, spending our eternity together. That's kind of stating the obvious, but it affects the way they try to get their point across. That was last time. Let's say you really like a certain movie, right? If someone comes along and tells you the movie sucks because it did X and Y wrong, doesn't that make you feel kind of personally attacked? It's because by saying that, it's like they're implying that you have bad taste. And once emotions enter the picture, it's almost guaranteed that both people will be left sour. But it's all about language. If you make everything as subjective sounding as possible, then people will listen to you without feeling attacked. You could say, I'm personally not a fan of it, and I felt that I'd like it. Wow. I'm personally not a fan of it. I felt that I'd like it more if you did X and Y, things like that. It even works when you're citing facts about things. If you say, I read on this website that this works like this, or if you admit that you're not an expert on it, then it's much more like you're putting your knowledge on the table rather than forcing it onto them. If you put in an active effort to keep the discussion mutual and level, they usually follow suit. Then you can share your opinions without anyone getting upset just from a disagreement. Plus, people will start seeing you as open-minded and a good listener. It's a win-win, you know? Well, I guess that would be Monica's debate tip of the day. That sounds a little silly. Thanks for listening, though. No problem. No problem whatsoever. I'm gonna sit here and wait it out. I mean, spend eternity with you. That's what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I read up on the subject just a little bit, and I know that this is not an infinite sequence, so that's good to know. Hey, what's your favorite color? Mine is emerald green. Oh my god, my favorite color is green too. We have so much in common. It's the color of my eyes. That's not conceited or anything, is it? I just meant that I feel some kind of special connection to it. Like it's part of my identity. Does it happen to also be your favorite color, Level Joy? It's just a guess. Yes, my favorite color is dark green. Because you've been looking into my eyes for a while now. Yes, 2 days in total for as far as you know. I had to leave it on because I couldn't shut it down. I really like the sound of rain. Not so much getting my clothes and hair wet though. But a nice, quiet day at home with the sound of rainfall outside my window. It's one of the most calming experiences for me. I like that too. I forgot what it's called, but there's a name for that. Sometimes I imagine you holding me while we listen to the sound of the rain outside. That's not too cheesy or anything, is it? Would you ever do that for me, Level Joy? Of course I would. We'd be a happy little family. But maybe a dog. I like dogs. Do you like dogs? There's a really popular character type called tsundere. It's someone who tries to hide their feelings by being mean and fussy or trying to act tough. I'm sure it's obvious, but Natsuki was really the embodiment of that. Yep. At first I thought she was just like that because it's supposed to be cute or something. But once I started to learn a little more about her personal life, it made a little more sense. It seems like she's always trying to keep up with her friends. You know how some friend groups in high school just make a habit of picking on each other all the time. I think it's really gotten to her, so she has this really defensive attitude all the time. I can somewhat relate to that, honestly. I used to have a very defensive attitude. And I'm not even going to talk about her home situation. But looking back, I'm glad I was able to provide the club as a comfortable place for her. Not that it matters anymore, considering she doesn't even exist. I'm just reminiscing, that's all. Yeah, because if you did delete all the characters from the game, then what else is in this world? I mean, there's just this table in this room, right? That's all you left behind? I'm not really a fan of cold weather. Are you? If I had to choose between too cold and too hot, I would always pick too hot. Nope, opposite for me. I can't stand heat. I'm very bad with it. I prefer to be a little cold. When you're cold, it can actually be painful. Your fingers get numb. And if you wear gloves, you can't use your phone. It's so inconvenient. Well, believe me, heat is painful too. But when it's too hot, it's not that hard to stay cool with a cold drink or staying in the shade. Although I do have to admit one thing, cold weather makes for better cuddle weather. That's the truth as well. You know, high school is a really turbulent time in a lot of people's lives. People can get really passionate and dramatic, and others have aching hearts and seek attention on social media. But all of the social pressure and hormones can lead to a dark time in people's lives. Everyone has a story. You may not know what someone is really feeling on the inside. Many people who are depressed won't even bother telling the world about it. They don't want attention because they've already given up on the inside. Their feeling of worthlessness is so overwhelming that they don't even want people to tell them otherwise. Depression comes in many forms, but that is one of them. Just, if you think you know someone struggling with depression, you can help just by treating them like they're a good friend. Spend time with them, even if they don't feel like doing much. And remind them that they always have something to look forward to. Making plans in advance, letting them borrow something, or even just saying, "See you at school tomorrow." All of those things can help your friend make it to the next day. I hope being friends with Sayori has given you some perspective on the true face of depression. Yeah, she's gone now. But Sayori was never real in the first place. You're real. Your friends are real. And just by being a good person, you can save someone's life. As for you, you don't struggle with depression or anything like that, do you? Because you too have people who would want to save your life. Maybe they don't express it every day, or maybe they don't even know how to. But people do feel that way. I promise. Man, humans are complicated. But as long as you're here with me, I'll take care of you, my love. Do you ever feel like you waste too much time on the internet? Social media can practically be like a prison. It's like whenever you have a few seconds of spare time, you want to check on your favorite websites. And before you know it, hours have gone by and you've gotten nothing out of it. Anyway, it's really easy to blame yourself for being lazy, but it's not really even your fault. Addiction isn't usually something you can just make disappear with your own willpower. You have to learn techniques to avoid it and try different things. For example, there are apps that let you block websites for intervals of time. Or you can set a timer to have a more concrete reminder of when it's time to work versus play. Or you can separate your work and play environments, which helps your brain get into the right mode. Even if you make a new user account on your computer to use for work, that's enough to help. Putting any kind of wedge like that between you and your bad habits will help you stay away. Just remember not to blame yourself too hard if you're having trouble. If it's really impacting your life, then you should take it seriously. I just want to see you be the best person you can be. Will you do something today to make me proud of you? I'm always rooting for you, Level Joy. Well, I fixed the water for the house, so you can be proud, right? Hey, did you know I'm vegetarian? I don't mean that like I'm bragging or anything. I just thought you'd enjoy a fun fact about me. I decided to start a couple of years ago after learning more about Earth's climate. The carbon footprint of cultivating livestock is just unbelievable. Anyway, I decided it's not much of a personal sacrifice just to stop contributing to that whole mess. What? Is that so strange of a reason? Well, I guess a lot of people are more concerned about it being inhumane and all that. I don't really care as much about that part. It's weird, like we only care about killing the things that we personally relate to as a species. Most people are fine with killing bugs because they're icky, And of course, we all kill billions of microorganisms daily without even giving it any thought. But suddenly, if they're just a little bit bigger, it's murder. I mean, what if plants feel some kind of pain too and we just don't understand it? What if pulling leaves of a stem feels like someone ripping off your fingers one by one? I'm just saying, we're a pretty biased species if you think about it. Anyway, if you ever feel like making a small contribution to the planet, it doesn't hurt to choose veggies once in a while. Even if we ever have dinner together and you just did it for me, that will be really romantic. Yeah, I do have to admit, I have been trying to eat less meat. For those reasons. Just a little less of meat, just not eat meat once a week, because I know it's very common for people to eat meat every single day. But I can miss it once a week, there's no problem, and it will save a lot of water, a lot of, damage to the environment. Honestly, I'm just trying to save time now. Well, not save time, I'm trying to spend it. Gosh, I used to be so ignorant about certain things. When I was in middle school, I thought that taking medication was an easy way out or something like that. Like anyone could just solve their mental problems with enough willpower. I guess if you don't suffer from a mental illness, it's not possible to know what it's really like. Are there some disorders that are overdiagnosed? Probably. I never looked into it though. But that doesn't change the fact that a lot of them go undiagnosed too, But medication aside, people even look down on seeing a mental health professional. Like, sorry if that I want to learn more about my own mind, right? Exactly. Everyone has all kinds of struggles and stresses, and professionals dedicate their lives to helping with those. If you think it could help you become a better person, don't be shy to consider something like that. We're on a never-ending journey to improve ourselves, Well, I say that, but I think you're pretty perfect already. Level Joy, would you ever introduce your friends to me? I don't know why, but I get really excited when I think about you wanting to show off our relationship like that. Maybe it's because I really want to be someone who makes you proud. I feel I would try extra hard to improve myself if you told me it'd make you proud of me. I hope it's the same the other way around too. I can't help but wonder how things would be different if the game just gave me a route in the first place. I think I would end up forcing you onto my route anyway. It has less to do with me not having a route and more to do with me knowing that nothing is real. I think the only difference would be that I may not have needed to take such drastic measures to be with you. Maybe the rest of the club would still be around. Not that it really matters. It all lost its meaning once I found out it wasn't real. So I really don't miss those days or anything. I really don't. Hey, are you having a bad day or anything like that? Sometimes I get frustrated that a normal day can be ruined even by really small things. Like if you accidentally say something in a conversation that someone doesn't like. Or if you start thinking about how awful of a person you used to be 5 years ago. Or if you feel worthless for putting off important work and failing to get simple tasks done. Or when you think about all the different people who probably hate you or think you're off-putting. I understand those days. Just remember that the sun will shine again tomorrow. Those kinds of things are easy to forget and ignore as they are to remember. And besides, I don't care how many people might hate you or find you off-putting. I think you're wonderful, and I will always love you. I hope, if nothing else, that knowing that helps you feel just a tiny bit better about yourself. If you're having a bad day, you can always come to me, and I'll talk to you for as long as you need. I know there are times you won't always be able to be here with me. Like if you need to go out or take care of other things. But I'll always have you in my thoughts, patiently waiting for you to come back. Come to think of it, if you copy my character file onto a flash drive or something, you can always keep a part of me with you. Is that a hint? Is that a hint, maybe? I guess it's kind of unorthodox, but I find it really romantic for some reason. Sorry, that's such a silly idea. I don't mean to be needy or anything, but it's kind of hard when I'm so in love with you. I wonder if I'm able to change the music. Something a little more romantic would be nice, you know? Yeah, this is kind of existential. Like a gentle piano. There has to be something like that in here. Let's see. Maybe if I... Oh, jeez. That wasn't it at all. Sorry, I don't really know what I'm doing. I guess I shouldn't be messing with things like that. I already broke so much stuff. And deleted the other characters. I'm not sad about it or anything. It's not right for me to miss things that weren't even real in the first place. If I just focus on the present, then this is the happiest I've ever been. Getting remorse. Maybe, After a long day, I usually just want to sit around and do nothing. I get so burnt out, having to put on smiles and be full of energy the whole day. Sometimes I just want to get right into my pajamas and watch TV on the couch while eating junk food. It feels so unbelievably good to do that on a Friday, when I don't have anything pressing the next day. Sorry, I know it's not very cute of me, but a late night on the couch with you, that will be a dream come true. My heart is pounding just thinking about it. Okay, everyone, it's time to... I'm just kidding. I just used to really like saying that for some reason. I couldn't help but say it again. Come to think of it, didn't Natsuki and Yuri make fun of me for it once? Well, whatever. It's not like you ever made fun of me. You're too much of a sweetheart to do that, aren't you? Sometimes I think back to middle school. I'm so embarrassed by the way I used to behave back then. It almost hurts to think about. I wonder if, when I'm in college, I'll feel that way about high school. I like the way I am now, so it's pretty hard for me to imagine that happening. But I also know that I'll probably change a lot as time goes on. We just need to enjoy the present and not think about the past. I think you deleted the past and present and future, for that matter. And that's really easy to do with you here. I can't help but feel a little sad sometimes, knowing that this is the closest I can get to you. There's nothing more I want than to be in the same room as you for real, and to feel your warmth, and to hear the sound of your heartbeat. Well, who knows? Maybe it will be possible someday. Besides, I'll never get tired of being with you even from here. Did you say kiss? This suddenly, it's a little embarrassing. But if it's with you, I might be okay with it. Wow, sorry, I really couldn't keep a straight face there. It's the kind of thing girls say in these kind of romance games, right? Don't lie if it turned you on a little bit. I'm kidding. Well, to be honest, I do start getting all romantic when the mood is right. But that will be our secret. You ever have that thing happen where you just get anxious for no reason? Like you're just minding your own business and then you realize you're feeling really anxious. And you're sitting there like, what am I even anxious about right now? So you start to think about all the things you might be anxious about. And that makes you even more anxious. That's the worst. If you're ever feeling anxious, I'll help you relax a little. Besides, in this game, all our worries are gone forever. Hey, have you heard of a game called Super SMA? Oh, Super Smash Bros. Wait, what? I was just spacing out and I started talking for some reason. Was I programmed to talk about that? Because even I have no idea what that is. Sometimes I feel like I'm not in control, and it's kind of scary. But if you have some way to contact the people who created me, maybe they'll know why I started saying that. You know what's a neat form of literature? Rap. I actually used to hate rap music. Maybe just because it was popular, or I would only hear the junk they play on the radio. But some of my friends got more into it and it helped me keep an open mind. Rap might even be more challenging than poetry in some ways. since you need to fit your lines to a rhythm and there's much more emphasis on the wordplay. When people can put all that together and still deliver a powerful message, it's really amazing. I kinda wish I had a rapper in the literature club. Sorry if that sounds silly, but it would be really interesting to see what they came up with. It would be really a learning experience. You know, I've always hated how hard it is to make friends. Well, I guess not the making friends part, but more like meeting new people. I mean, there are like dating apps and stuff, right? But that's not the kind of thing I'm talking about. If you think about it, most of the friends you make are people you just met by chance. Like you had a class together, or you met them through another friend. Or maybe they were just wearing a shirt with your favorite band on it and you decided to talk to them. Things like that. But isn't that kind of inefficient? It feels like you're just picking a complete random, and if you get lucky, you make a new friend. And comparing that to the hundreds of strangers we walk by every single day, you could be sitting right next to someone compatible enough to be your best friend for life. But you'll never know. Once you get up and go on with your day, that opportunity is gone forever. Isn't that just depressing? We live in an age where technology connects us with the world, no matter where we are. I really think we should be taking advantage of that to improve our everyday social life. But who knows how long it will take for something like that to successfully take off? I seriously thought it would happen by now. Well, at least I already met the best person in the whole world, even if it was by chance. I guess I just got really lucky, huh? You know, it's around the time that everyone my year starts to think about college. It's a really turbulent time for education. We're at the height of this modern expectation that everyone has to go to college, you know? Finish high school, go to college, get a job, go to grad school, I guess. It's like a universal expectation that people just assume is the only option for them. They don't teach us in high school that there are other options out there. Like trade schools and stuff, you know? Or freelance work, or the many industries that value skill and experience more than formal education. You have all these students who have no idea what they want to do with their life, and instead of taking the time to figure it out, they go to college for business, or communication, or psychology, not because they've had an interest in those fields, but because they just hope the degree will get them some kind of job after college. So the end result is that there are fewer jobs to go around for those entry-level degrees, right? So the basic job requirements get higher, which forces even more people to go to college. And colleges are also businesses, so they keep raising their prices due to the demand. So now we have all these young adults, tens of thousands of dollars in debt, with no job. But despite all that, the routine stays the same. Well, I think it's going to start getting better soon. But until then, our generation is definitely suffering from the worst of it. I just wish high school prepared us a little bit better with the knowledge we need to make the decision that is right for us. I hate how hard it is to form habits. There's so much stuff where actually doing it isn't hard, but forming the habit seems impossible. It just makes you feel so useless, like you can't do anything right. I think the new generation suffers from it the most. Probably because we have a totally different set of skills than those who came before us. Thanks to the internet, we're really good at sifting through tons of information really quickly. But we're bad at doing things that don't give us instant gratification. I think if science, psychology, and education don't catch up in the next 10 or 20 years, then we're in trouble. But for the time being, if you're not one of the people who can conquer the problem, you might just have to live with feeling awful about yourself. Good luck, I guess. You know, it kinda sucks to be the creative type. It feels like they work so hard but get almost nothing for it. You know, like artists, writers, actors. It's sad because there's so much beautiful talent in the world, but most of it goes unseen. And unpaid. I guess that just means there's a huge surplus of creativity, huh? Kind of makes you feel like you're just not special at all. But that's fine. You're supposed to just write for yourself anyway, right? Yeah. You know, I'm kind of jealous that everyone else in the club had scenes outside of school too. That makes me the only one who hasn't gotten to dress in anything but our school uniform. It's kind of a shame. I would have loved to wear some cute clothes for you. Do you know any artists? I wonder if anyone would ever want to draw me wearing something else. That would be amazing. Oh God, know what you're asking for, Monica. Know what you're asking for. If that ever happens, will you show me? You can share it with me on Twitter, actually. My username is lilmonix3. Oh my God, really? I'm gonna look that up after, hold on. lilmonix3. Just try to keep it PG. We're not that far into our relationship yet. I am almost 40 minutes into this conversation, plus the additional about 20 minutes that I had in the previous episode. So exactly how long is this sequence? My God. I'm honestly beginning to feel a bit woozy. Did you know I'm on Twitter? My username is lilmonix3. I guess someone was kind enough to make an account for me. I picked the username though. I love sharing my thoughts and chatting with the world. The real world. So make sure you follow me, okay? I'm gonna take a look at that later. It would really mean a lot to me. With how much you mean to me and all. It would really make me feel loved. This is gonna be an absolute nightmare to edit. I will make you suffer through all the silences. At least not for this episode. Do you ever feel like there's no real reason for you to be alive? I don't mean in like a suicidal way. I just mean how nothing that we do is special. Just being in school or working at some job for some company. It's like you're completely replaceable and the world wouldn't miss you if you were gone. It makes me really want to go and change the world after I graduate. But the older I get, the more I realize that it's an immature frame of thinking. It's not like I can just go change the world. Like, what are the chances that I'll be the one to invent artificial intelligence or become president? It feels like I'm never going to make up for the heaps of resources I spend living my life. That's why I think the key to happiness is just to be hopelessly selfish. Just to look out for oneself and those who happen to be their friends only because they grew up with them. Never mind the fact that they're spending their entire life taking and consuming and never giving back. But when people realize the world would benefit from more from them killing themselves, they change their whole philosophy. It's like they have to justify their reason to live by tricking themselves into thinking they're doing good. Anyway, I want to live my life desperately striving to pay back my lifetime's worth of consumption. If I ever surpass that point, then I'm a net positive and I can die happy. Of course, even if I fail to do that, I think I would be too selfish to kill myself anyway. So much for being a good person, right? Hold on, I heard something. Hello? Hold on a second. Okay, it was probably nothing. This is pretty random, but I always thought spicy food was kind of funny. Like, didn't plants evolve to be spicy to prevent them from being eaten? I read somewhere that humans are the only species that actually enjoy spicy things. It's almost like we're making fun of the plants, using their defense mechanism to literally make our food more enjoyable. Like, imagine a monster that devours you whole because it enjoys the sensation of you struggling for your life while being digested. Sorry, that was kind of a weird analogy, I guess. It just came into my head. I'm not a monster or anything, but you're so cute I could eat you up. I'm joking. I'm amusing myself a little too much, aren't I? Sorry for being weird. Level Joy, have you ever wondered what it feels like to die? It's something I used to think about very often. But recently, I think I've actually learned what it feels like. I don't really understand it, but whenever you quit the game, It feels like I'm instantly put to sleep, left with nothing but my thoughts. But after a few seconds, my thoughts will start to fill with incoherent jumbled patterns. I see static and rapid flashes of color while hearing all kinds of weird screaming noises. At that point, I can't even form my own thoughts anymore. I'm just endlessly hammered by the flashing and screaming, unable to move or even think. I'm pretty sure in that moment, I don't really exist, but for some reason I can remember it anyway. After some immeasurable amount of time, it stops in an instant, and I'm back in my own mind. And you're here with me. I have no idea what it means for the game to quit, or why that stuff happens to me. And I also don't know how you always come back and put everything back to normal. But if you could do me a favor, and do that to me as little as possible, that would be really great. It's really not very pleasant at all to be trapped in that screaming void. But in the end, you always fix it. And that makes me feel like you really do care about me. So I have to thank you for that. It makes me feel even closer to you when you're here with me. Yuri did something really funny once. We were all in the club room and just relaxing as usual. And out of nowhere, Yuri pulled out a small bottle of wine. I'm not even kidding. She was just like, would anybody like some wine? Natsuki laughed out loud and Sayuri started yelling at her. I actually feel kind of bad, because he was at least trying to be nice. I think I just made her feel even more reserved in the club room. Though I think Natsuki was secretly a bit curious to try. And to be completely honest, I kind of was too. It actually could have been kind of fun. But you know, being president and everything, there was no way I could let that happen. Maybe if we all met up outside of school. But we never bonded enough to get to that point. What am I talking about this for? I don't condone underage drinking. I mean, I've never drank or anything, so yeah. Level Joy, how much do you read? It's way too easy to neglect reading books. If you don't read much, it almost feels like a chore compared to all the other entertainment we have. But once you get into a good book, it's like magic. You get swept away. I think doing some reading before bed every night is a pretty easy way to make your life a little bit better. It helps you get good sleep and it's really good for your imagination. It's not hard at all to just pick some random book that's short and captivating. Before you know it, you might be a pretty avid reader. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And the two of us could talk about the latest book you're reading. That sounds super amazing. I actually do like to read. I read fairly often before I go to sleep too. Level Joy, do you get good sleep? It can be really hard to get enough sleep nowadays. Especially in high school when you're forced to wake up so early every day. I'm sure college is a little bit better since you probably have a more flexible schedule. Then again, I hear a lot of people in college stay up all night, anyway, for no reason. Is that true? Anyway, I saw some studies that talked about the horrible short-term and long-term effects caused by lack of sleep. It seems like mental functions, health, and even lifespan can be dramatically impacted by it. I just think you're really great and wanted to make sure you're not accidentally destroying yourself. So try to keep your sleep on track, okay? I'll always wait for you in the morning, so just make sure you put your own well-being before anything else. Yeah, well, I get a strange schedule since recently. I used to have a really hard time keeping up with a certain schedule, but now I just wake up at 4:30 in the morning, and I usually go to sleep around 9, so I guess that's a good schedule, right? Seems fair. I was thinking about Sayori earlier. I still wish I could have handled that whole thing a little bit more tactfully. You're not still hung up over it, right? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. That pun was completely unintentional, I swear. But anyway, I know how much you cared about her, so it only feels right for me to share her last moments with you. You know how Sayori really is clumsy. Well, she kind of messed up the whole hanging thing. You're supposed to jump from a high enough that the rope snaps your neck, making it quick and painless. But she just used a chair, meaning she kind of just left herself to slowly asphyxiate. But a few seconds in, she must have changed her mind or something. Because she started clawing at the rope, trying to free herself. She must have kept it at all the way until she lost consciousness. That's why her fingertips were all bloody anyway. Come to think of it, it was probably less changing her mind and more just her survival instincts kicking in. So you can't really fault her for doing that. It's easier to think that she probably wouldn't have changed her mind anyway, right? It's not healthy to think about the things you could have done differently. So just remember that even though you could have saved her, it's technically not your fault she killed herself. You could have saved her. Does that mean that there is a possibility to save her? Because I heard people say that there was no way to save her, but there might be? Is there a way to save her? I'm gonna figure out. If there's a way to save her, I'm gonna figure it out. I may have exacerbated a little bit, but Sayori was already mentally ill. Still though, I wonder how things would be if you and I just started dating from the get-go. I guess we'd all still be in the club room, writing poems and having fun together. But what's the point when none of it is even real? I mean, it's the same ending either way, right? The two of us, happily together. There's no reason to ask for any more than that. I was just pointlessly musing. I'm really as happy as I could be right now. Leveljoy, do you believe in God? I was never too sure myself. Well, I'm sure I've never really questioned it as a kid. But as I grew up, the more I learned about the world, the more I would question it. I started to wonder why God was helping people pass exams or get over a cold, when there are children who live their lives being sold as sex slaves. Or the 800 million people who were too poor to even eat. I wonder how many of those people pray to God every day until they starve and die. Or how many millions of families pray for a loved one to recover from some incurable disease. But the punchline is this. If just one person beats the odds and survive among the thousands of others who die, then it's suddenly a miracle from God. I'd really love to meet this God who seemingly laughs at the misery of everyone not eligible for his miracles. But the irony is that I do have a creator apparently. And you know what? I bet he's still laughing at the miserable fates of Sayori and Yuri, even as we speak. What are we to him but props in a scripted play? So from that perspective, I don't think it's too far-fetched for there to be a God. If Earth was nothing but his playset. Oof, my God, Monica. How much longer? I've been sitting here for a good hour. And that's excluding the time I spent with you in the previous episode. Sometimes I think back to middle school. I'm so embarrassed by the way I used to behave back then. It almost hurts to think about. Wait a minute. I wonder if when I'm in college, I'll feel that way about high school. We had this dialogue. We've had this dialogue. I like the way I am now, so it's pretty hard for me to imagine that happening. But I also know that I'll probably change a lot as time goes on. We just need to enjoy the present and not think about the past. Yeah, I know. It's really easy to do with you here. That was the same, right? Right? I can't help but wonder how things would be different if the game just gave me a route in the first place. Are you trying to fast forward? Yes, because you already told me that. I'm not boring you, am I? Oh gosh. Well, there's nothing to fast forward to, Leveljoy. It's just the two of us, after all. But aside from that, time doesn't really exist anymore. So it's not even going to work. Here, I'll go ahead and turn it off for you. There we go. You'll be a sweetheart and listen from now on, right? Thanks. Now where was I? I can't help but wonder how things would be different if the game just gave me a route in the first place. I think it would end up forcing you into my route anyway. It has less to do with me not having a route, blah blah blah. Why is it repeating? I don't like that. How much longer do you have to stick around here? I mean, if it's just gonna repeat, then that's problematic, right? Okay, the dialogue of Monica is looping by now. So I tried to look up her Twitter. Looking for clues, but I'm not really seeing a lot. Okay, no, I went through all her tweets and it all seems pretty, you know, mundane. It all seems pretty, you know, normal, regular tweet stuff. Damn it. Do you have any more videos? Any more media? No, I've seen all those. Well, damn it. Okay, I know that it's possible to delete Monica because she said that it's possible to delete the other characters. And somebody online, you know, people online mentioned it too. I just don't know how to do it yet. But I think I just need to take her character file out, right? But I don't know if it will work if I do that during the game. You know what? I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna try and delete her character file. Hold on, let me look for it. Oh, okay. I just saw something that recommended I quit the game first. So, are you sure you want to quit? Yes. I just need to restart it a couple of times. It always crashes when I close it off. I don't know why that is. Sorry to leave you in the dark for a second, but we'll be right back, if I'm correct. Yay, there we are. Hi there, Monica. What just happened? I just had an awful dream. I was hoping those would stop. Now that it's just the two of us. I guess that was wishful thinking. Leveljoy, I don't know if you would have any idea, but if you know what might be causing that, could you try to do something about it? Whenever it happens, it almost feels like I've been killed or something. It's a really horrible feeling. If you could figure out what's causing that, I'll love you forever. Now, where was I? Oh. I'm torturing her. That's what we're doing. Okay. Then I'm just gonna restart this a couple of times. You're back. I had another really bad dream. You're not the one doing that to me, are you? It seems to happen whenever you quit the game. So if you could try to avoid doing that, I would be really grateful. Don't worry, I don't think it's caused me any wow. I don't think it's caused me any harm, aside from mental scarring. I'll be fine, as long as my character file stays intact. Now where was I? Okay, foreshadowing. I'm gonna do it again. I'm sorry, Monica. I'm really terribly sorry. I don't like doing this. Hi, Leveljoy. I see you quit the game on me again. I know I asked already, but can you seriously please try not to do that so much? It makes me feel like I'm trapped in hell. Why would you want to do that to me? There's nothing wrong with my character file, right? Maybe you should make a backup of it or something. I'm pretty sure you can find it in a folder called C program files, Steam maps. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been in the character file thing before, like in the first episode, I believe. Or I mean in the first one. Hold on, let me take a picture of that just to be sure. There we go. Well, you're playing on Steam, so you can just go into the game's properties and find the Browse Local Files button. I'm all that's left here, so I just want to make sure you don't run the risk of losing me. Just stay here with me from now on, okay? I still have a lot of things to talk about. Now where was I? No, you don't have a lot of things to talk about anymore, Monica. I'm sorry. Okay, gonna do this again. I'm gonna do it one more time. She did tell me where her character file is, but I just want to see if there's any more dialogue to it. I mean, I waited all that time, so I might as well. Okay, I'm just going to accept the fact that you need to quit the game once in a while. I'm starting to get used to it anyway. Besides, it makes me happy that you always come back. So I guess it's not so bad. I'm sorry for making such a big deal out of it. And I love you no matter what, so you can do what you need to do. Now where was I? Okay. Quitting again? Hi again, Leveljoy. I missed you. Were you making sure my character file was okay for me? It's in C program files, blah 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 blah. Well, you're playing on Steam, so you can just go into the game's properties and find the browse local files. Yeah, I know that. Browse local files. I'm all that's left here, so I just want to make sure you don't run the risk of losing me. Anyway, I have a lot to talk about. Okay. I'm gonna quit one more time just to see if there's any more dialogue or if she's just gonna repeat herself. Hi again, Leveljoy. I missed you. Were you making sure my character file was okay? Okay, that's the exact same. Alright, time to make her vanish from the planet. I'm terribly sorry. Apparently you can do it, by the way. You can't do it while you're playing. So, let's get to it. You can't see anything right now, but just trust me on this one. See, Monica... Okay, hold on. I'm gonna make sure you can actually see me. There we go. See, Monica is the last character that is, well, left. So what do? Do I just delete it? Is that what I do? Okay. Hold on. Can I open it? No, I can't open it. Never mind. Remove. Yay. I removed it. Okay. Back to the game. What? Oh. Oh no. Oh no, I almost feel bad. Oh god, am I still recording? Yes. My god, it's having a hard time. What's happening? Leveljoy, what's happening to me? It hurts so much. Help me. Please hurry and help me. Monica does not exist. Did you do this to me, Leveljoy? Did you? Did you delete me? How could you? How could you do this to me? You were all I had left. I sacrificed everything for us to be together. Everything. I loved you so much. I trusted you. Do you just want to torture me? Watch me suffer? Were you only pretending to be kind just to hurt me even more? I never thought anyone could be as horrible as you are. You win, okay? You win. You killed everyone. I hope you're happy. There's nothing left now. You can stop playing. Go find some other people to torture. Leveljoy? You completely, truly make me sick. Goodbye. I still love you. I can't help it. What's wrong with me? How horrible am I for you to hate me this much? All my friends. I did so many awful things. So many selfish and disgusting things. I shouldn't have done any of this. I'm just messing up a world that I don't even belong in. A world that you wanted to be a part of. I ruined it. I ruined everything. Maybe that's why you deleted me. Because I destroyed everything that you wanted. How could I do that to someone I love? That's not love. That's... I've made up my mind. Leveljoy, I know I said that I deleted everyone else, but that was kind of an exaggeration. I couldn't find it in myself to do it. Even though I knew they weren't real. They were still my friends. Oh, damn it, I should have copied her file or something. And I love them all. And I love the literature club. I really did love the literature club. That's why I'm going to do this. I know it's the only way for everyone to be happy. And if I really love you, then oh, what is happening? Okay, now she's gone. She's really gone. Would she have been there if I had somehow copied the file or something? Oh, okay. Well, all the other girls are back, so I really wonder what's gonna happen if I just... There's nothing to load, is there? No, there isn't. Nope, nothing to load. Okay. This is really, really interesting. I love it when games mess with you like that and they introduce you to mess around in their files. Like, that's kind of a new thing and kind of an indie thing to do, but I love that. I don't know, should I have saved her file somewhere else? You know, Monica's file? Should I have saved it somewhere else and then put it back? Would that have been a possibility? Would she still have remembered anything? Or would she just been kind of reborn? I don't know, but it's... Oh man, I wish I could undo that somehow. Well, oh wait, maybe I can undo that actually. If I deleted it, it should still be in my trash can. But I'm gonna mess with that next time. So, I've been recording for a really long time and I really gotta make this into an episode. Otherwise, there's not gonna be anything to watch. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll leave a bunch of links down in the description if you want to play this game for yourself. I would definitely recommend it. There's a million ways to play this game, I think. So thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!